Hey, thought I'd do something a little different today. Like I said, my next two projects are going to be, what is it called? Something Red Remnant. I'll be doing that. It's like looks like a beat 'em up roguelike. It looks pretty awesome. Unfortunately, it got delayed by a few days. I was actually going to put out an overview for it today, but apparently the developers ran into some kind of problem and they had to push it back to Friday. Friday I have a pretty decisive doctor's appointment to get prescribed some beta blockers, which will help with my anxiety, the pain that I have, the blood pressure spikes and stuff like that. So I decided I'm going to take it easy this week. Probably not going to be any crazy guides or anything. I do have some other stuff in store as well. I'll be still waiting for the Dishwasher Vampire Smile port. So today, what I wanted to cover was one of the most broken ships in Darius Burst Chronicle Saviors. So I have pretty much all the ships at this point. I did not buy the Death Smiles one because I've just never been a fan of that game. It's one of my least favorite cave shmups. Those are the ones that I've played anyway. There's still a couple cave shmups I haven't played. I should check if I have those available to me. But I have all the other ships. I've done a video on the majority of them. There are some that I just flat out don't like. Space Harrier, he is very awkward to play. I'm not sure how good he is in terms of the metagame. I know that he's just very awkward to control. Like, if you just want to play the game, this game's already really difficult, so he's not worth buying unless you get him on a sale on Steam or something. Fantasy Zone is also pretty difficult to use, but I hear this is like one of the top tier ships for scoring. Cave DLC I've already gone over in the past. There's the Aiding DLC, which I have not covered yet on the channel. I do play this game mostly when I'm not at home, like when I'm waiting for the bus, or I'm on the bus or something like that, or when I'm out with friends, like I'll play this game. But when I'm at home, I just don't play it that much. It's a perfect portable game. This port, especially, is one of the better ports on Vita. Definitely, probably the best original shmup on the Vita, because all the other ones are ports from like years ago. This is actually a pretty recent game. Now this ship is actually pretty broken too, but I find it very awful to play on the Vita because if you switch weapons a lot with this ship, the DPS is like crazy, but obviously it's easier to do that when you're playing on console or on PC, where you can have a stick or a controller and you can put the switch button on turbo. Here, I tried it with at the laundromat like a month or two ago, and I got through it pretty easily, but mashing the R button, I didn't want to risk breaking it, especially since this Vita has the capture card in it. So I haven't used this ship too much. I'll probably put up some footage of this one off my PS4 later on. The Pro Gear ship seems a little underwhelming. I'm not really sure how the bomb system works. It seems a little different from the actual Pro Gear game, which I actually just played for the first time last month. I went with my aunt to a pizza place, and there was a long line. I beat the game while I was waiting there. Best ship in the Capcom pack, which, as far as we know, is the last DLC pack, is the Varth ship. The reason this ship is broken, as you can see here, you can't see my finger, but this formation here where you change the pods in front of you, basically nothing can hit you. Anything that doesn't have a lingering hitbox will not hit you. There's a video of someone I subscribe to on YouTube who does Darius Burst footage, and he put up a video of him fighting a boss for half an hour, and I wondered what he was doing. I don't even think he had a description in his video of what he was doing. What he was doing is he was showing how long you can survive with this ship, even without like actually trying to fight the boss. Like just standing there with the pod on, the pods in front of you gives you a ridiculous shield. So I'm going to go ahead and play through the first level here. Apparently they put out a patch a few weeks ago that's supposed to make the game easier, but I have not noticed any differences. A lot of the hardcore shmup players kind of have a love-hate relationship with this game because of how grindy it can be. It is a very grindy game. Like the CS mode is like such a huge commitment to finish. There's like hundreds of levels or something like that. I think I'm only like a quarter of the way through, and I've had this game for years. get a auto-filling bomb, which does really good damage as well.
Napalm. Power up.
So even on bosses, normally on bosses, you can have a hard time regenerating your burst bar. There's not enough what they call Zako's Mishpap to fill it. But with this weapon, you actually get a pretty decent amount of burst. So that is another really strong
Power up.
this weapon. See, I'm standing right here. I'm not taking any damage at all. Pretty good. Got a no damage bonus. Now you can see why you get a podless bonus. You basically don't have to dodge with this ship unless you're fighting a boss that has a lot of lingering hitboxes. There are a couple projectile types that will just straight up go through the shield, but the majority of the bullets in the game will be blocked by the power pod. I've seen people complain about this ship, and I really don't understand why. For starters, this game is like really difficult. The difficulty curve in this game is, I wouldn't call it unbalanced, but it's definitely like all over the place.
Shield. Power up.
There's some, levels like this that are, pretty relaxed, and then there's other ones that are just like complete balls to the wall hard. Also, you still can't use these ships in the CS mode or the arcade mode. So, this is like a petty complaint. I like the different playstyles that these ships offer.
Shield.
The arcade mode in this, I guess I should explain. The arcade mode in this is the original version of this game. All these ships that I'm using, recent videos I've done for this, are all added for the console version.
Power up.
And the CS mode is the one that has the crazy difficulty curve. But the arcade mode is actually pretty tolerable. The arcade mode is obviously, designed with the ability to one-critic clear. Whereas CS mode is like a big, grindy single-player adventure. You have more liberties taken without the game. I hope that if they are really done supporting this game, they've had about a year of pretty consistent support. Like every few months there's been a new patch or another batch of ships. I hope that if they really are done supporting it, they'll put out a patch and let you use these ships and see us
Power up.
It'll definitely increase the value of them. These levels that they give you are very recycled, to put it bluntly. You see a lot of the same formation of ships and stuff like that. It would be nice if they don't do that, but it seems like for whatever reason they're adamant about keeping the word. See, like those lasers right there, you cannot block those with the shield because they have a lingering hitbox. basically the only threats to this ship for your survival in any level is basically anything that has a lingering hitbox. So any of the burst lasers and stuff, you will still have to dodge those because the laser will go through the shield and will still hit your active hitbox. But anything that shoots a lot of just regular projectiles, it basically is not going to touch you. I've seen some of the Japanese players call this like the baby mode ship or something. I personally don't mind. I think that the difficulty in this game is it's all over the place. Like you have the arcade mode, which is, like I said, balanced around being able to finish it on a single credit. You have the CS mode, which has the widely varying difficulty curve because of all the different levels and the different ships that you can use. Certain ships are terrible for certain levels because they don't have any kind of defensive mechanic for whatever the boss is at the end. And then you have the DLC mode, which is kind of middle of the road, depending on which ship you use and some of the levels. Some of these levels get pretty crazy. Let's see if I can find one here. I have all 4 of the DLC packs, Capcom packs at least. Like, some of these are pretty crazy. 3 bosses here with only 11 shield. Like, I actually beat these bosses for the first time with this ship because it's actually somewhat manageable here. A lot of times you're just so drained on resources by the time you get to those bosses in a CS mode or in the other DLC ships that it's very hard to fight them. Yeah, I thought I'd do this. I will probably cover the other ships. I'll definitely do a Battle Garega one, since this is actually one of my other favorite DLC ships. This ship in general is fun to use, but not on Vita. On the Vita, the targeting system slows the frame rate down to a crawl. The frame rate is almost never an issue in this game. This is like the only ship you can't really use on Vita because of how much it slows down. It gets really awkward. But this ship's pretty fun to use. Once I get a capture card or I just play with the built-in streaming, I'll probably show this ship as well. But the problem with that is I have a Hori Real Arcade Pro 4 and that does not have a mic slot. So I will have to wait until I get a capture card for that. In terms of that, I don't really think I'm doing any major projects next month. Next month, most of my money, including what I make from the channel, is probably going to go towards my Fanime trip Memorial Day weekend. So I will not have too many funds to be messing around with new projects. And if there's something small comes out, then I'll probably get it and cover it like I normally do. The smaller games I do, like Ruin of the Reckless and stuff like that, I'll probably sneak one of those in, but right now I normally plan out all my releases over a month before they happen, and there isn't anything really happening next month that I'm particularly interested in, so I'll probably be covering some more stuff like this. If you guys want to see some of the other things I've bought since last time you've seen my Vita, honestly there hasn't really been too much interesting. You can see I have a slot here empty. I'm actually going to put East Origin here. That's supposed to get a port at the end of next month. I think it was supposed to be back in March or February, but it got pushed back, which is I don't know if that's a bad sign or a good sign. I would hope that they could get it to run at 60 FPS because that game runs at like, I think 1080p 60 on a toaster computer. I think you can even run it on like a really crappy laptop. So I hope that they're actually able to get a pretty good performance parity. I will definitely do a port review series for that. Obviously the Vita release train is kind of dying down at this point. Even in Japan, they're getting way more visual novels and stuff instead of like regular games. So I don't know how much more I'll be using this. I did think about maybe putting a mod chip or the capture card board in my homebrew Vita and maybe doing some cool stuff with that, but that's not going to happen until maybe later down the line. Once more people start making patches, I know that there's a English patch for Phantasy Star Zero or Nova. Yeah, Phantasy Star Nova has an English patch from the people that do the English patch for PSO2, the base game. So I kind of wanted to cover stuff like that at some point, but that will have to wait until later. Maybe next month I will try to put some time into constructing a fundraiser to get the capture card. That will make things have a little more variety on the channel, so to speak. I know that there will probably be some good console exclusives in the near future. Muso Stars actually got they got a localization announcement really quick, within like I think 2 weeks of the game coming out, and they announced that it's going to be on PC. So that is when I will be covering that game. I believe the release date for it is late August. So that's probably the next major thing that I'm doing that has a release date. The rest of the stuff between then is probably just going to be random scattered stuff. So the next video I'm going to do for this is probably Battle Garega, and then at that point maybe I'll play on stick and I'll show some of the other ships as well. Anyway, thanks for watching. I'm going to take it easy until Friday. It should be fine. Probably just have to go on that medication for a while and kind of level out my blood pressure from getting too anxious. I do get very anxious about how I perform on here, the quality of my videos and stuff, and I think that will help me to stabilize so I can do more high-level stuff like I used to. Anyway, see you guys later. Peace.